Welcome to the Explainer. So, you've probably wondered what's really happening when you type a web address into your browser, right? Well, basically, your browser, the client, is just asking a computer, the server, for some data over the internet. The server fires back files, usually HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and boom, your browser puts it all together. But hey, before we get too deep, you gotta remember this tool works best when it has specific sources to analyze. Right now, this is a general overview. To get super detailed, tailored info for your own projects, you'll want to upload your own PDFs or articles right into the source panel on the left. Or, just use the fast research or deep research tools to pull in expert guides. Once you do that, you can spin up a custom study guide, a podcast-style audio overview, or even a mind map. Pretty cool, right? But for right now, let's explore the fundamental machinery of the web.
All right, so here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with how websites actually work, take a look at the core building blocks, and then jump into managing content with a CMS. After that, we're decoding common website errors, talking essential maintenance and security, and finally wrapping up with the ultimate goal for many, monetizing your website.
Section 1. How websites actually work. The client-server loop.
Let's pop the hood here. Think of your web browser, Chrome or Safari, as a hungry customer sitting at a table in a restaurant. You are the client ordering off the menu. The internet? That's your waiter, taking that order and routing it straight back to the kitchen. And that kitchen is the server, literally just a remote computer where the website's files actually live. So the server gets the raw ingredients together, the waiter rushes them back to your table, and your browser essentially plates the meal, assembling those files into the beautiful web page you actually see on your screen. It's just this constant, rapid-fire loop of requesting and serving.
Moving on to Section 2, the core building blocks, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
If you think about building a website, it's honestly exactly like building a house. First up, you have HTML, or Hypertext Markup Language. That's your structure, the raw data. It's the wooden framing of the house, dictating where a paragraph goes, where an image sits, and what is a link. Next is CSS, Cascading Style Sheets. This is all about visual style and layout. It's the paint on the walls, the interior design, taking that plain framing and making it actually look good. And finally, JavaScript. This is the logic. If HTML is the frame and CSS is the paint, JavaScript is the electricity and plumbing. It makes the house functional, so when you click a button, something dynamic actually happens.
Section 3. Managing content with CMS. No developer needed.
Look, manually coding HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for every single blog post or product page? No way. That is incredibly time-consuming. That's exactly why non-developers rely on a CMS, or content management system. It's basically a software application that lets you create, manage, and publish digital content without needing to write a single line of code or constantly bug a developer. You just get this super user-friendly dashboard for your digital real estate. For businesses, this is an absolute game changer, letting them easily implement content marketing and scale up without completely exhausting their IT teams.
So how does a CMS actually pull this off under the hood? It's basically split in two. On the front end, you've got the Content Management Application, or CMA. That's your dashboard. It's where you, the creator, type out your text, upload images, and edit content in a really simple interface. Then working behind the scenes is the Content Delivery Application, the CDA. This is the back-end engine. It securely grabs everything you just put in the CMA, compiles it into that HTML and CSS we just talked about, and blasts it out to the world. You plug the information in seamlessly, and the CDA handles all the heavy technical lifting.
All right, Section 4. Decoding common website errors, HTTP status codes.
So, what happens when things go wrong and the dashboard warning lights flash? Well, the server shoots back a 3-digit HTTP status code. The absolute easiest way to decode them is to just look at that first number. A 400-level error, a 4XX, is a client-side error. Honestly, that basically means you or your user messed up, maybe by typing a bad URL. A 500-level error, though, a 5XX, that's a server-side error. That means the server itself is broken or overloaded. Going back to our restaurant, a 500 error means the kitchen literally caught on fire. A 400 error means you tried to order something that's not on the menu.
The absolute classic client-side error is the 404 not found. This simply means the server can't locate anything at that requested URL. Usually, it's just a mistyped web address or a page that got totally removed. But here is the so what. If people keep hitting 404 pages on your site, they're going to leave in frustration. That drastically spikes your bounce rate, and it can seriously tank your SEO. You absolutely have to make sure those broken links are redirected.
And then we have the most common one on the server side, the 500 internal server error.
This is a very broad, general-purpose error that basically means the web server hit an internal wall. It's super common, and usually it just means your server is congested with too much traffic, or maybe a third-party plugin is malfunctioning. A lot of times, resolving this just requires a quick cache clear, turning off a faulty plugin, or just making a quick call to your hosting provider.
Section 5. Essential maintenance and security. Prevent website failure.
You know, waiting for things to break and then scrambling to fix them is not a strategy. You've got to be proactive. Tasks like testing your links, tracking server uptime, compressing massive images, and running routine backups, it's literally like changing the oil in your car. It guarantees a fast, reliable, and trustworthy user experience, which in turn boosts your SEO and keeps your audience coming back for more.
Now check out this number, $600 billion. That is the sheer, terrifying scale of the estimated global cost of cybercrime in a single year. It's staggering, and it heavily underscores why you absolutely cannot ever compromise on software updates, secure passwords, and routine security audits. Your website is a prime target, and letting your maintenance slide is basically like leaving your front door wide open.
Which brings us to Section 6, monetizing your website, generating revenue.
Okay, let's talk about the ultimate reward, turning this into a revenue generator. First, there's Google AdSense, getting paid per click when users interact with ads on your site. Then you've got affiliate marketing, which is just recommending products and snagging a commission if someone buys through your unique link. You could also just charge directly for your content using paywalls or membership tiers. Then there's sponsored content, where companies actually pay you to publish reviews. And finally, flipping websites. You build up the traffic, then sell the whole shebang at a premium on a listing platform. Whether you want passive ad income or to actively sell, there's a strategy that fits.
But we do need to set realistic expectations here. It is a general heuristic that it takes at least 3 months to start earning from a new website. Why? Because search engines and ad networks kind of just ignore brand new sites until they actually prove they can consistently engage an audience over time. You've got to commit to at least a few solid months of high-quality content before the revenue streams really open up. It takes a growth mindset and a lot of patience.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to remind you about the awesome tools you have right at your fingertips to take all of this further. To get specific, tailored advice on your unique website project, just use the source panel on the left. Upload your own business plans, PDFs, or articles. Or hit Fast Research to pull in the latest expert guides. Once you do that, you can instantly generate a custom study guide or a podcast-style overview tailored exactly to what you are trying to learn and build. So it all comes down to taking action. You know the mechanics under the hood now, from client-server requests and HTML structure, all the way to content management, troubleshooting, and monetization. The digital world is literally your canvas. So now that you know how the web works, what are you going to build? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Definitely use those research tools, and I absolutely can't wait to see what you create next.